Hello, and from wherever you are joining us, welcome back to another episode of Women in STEM that is proudly brought to you by the Alkamba Times. I am your host, our content. Now, let me start by saying this. Technology in the Gambia is evolving. And when I say this, I also want to say that women are no longer like just watching that evolution happen. They are into it, they are building, they are leaning, and they are founding the very systems and platforms that are shaping our digital future here in the Gambia. Now, today's episode is about ownership. It's about women who are not just participating in tech, but they are also creating, like I said, the systems, and they are creating a lot of impact. This is definitely one of my favorite conversations. I think it's going to be one of my favorite episodes. No, I'm not saying that other episodes have not been great, but I think this is going to be my favorite so far. We are talking about the rise of women tech founders in the Gambia, and my guest today is a tech innovator. She is an entrepreneur. She is the founder of Present, which of course she will tell you about in a bit. But she is also someone who is intentionally bridging technology, digital skills, and she's also empowering other women as well as businesses, in a way that responds to what our community needs, Gambian community needs. Now, without further ado, join me in welcoming Khadija Tijala. Khadija, thank you so much for being here today on Women in STEM. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
It's really a pleasure to be here with you. I've really been following your journey and then what you've been doing at the Alkamba Times. It's really great wherein you are raising women voices and taking us to the next level. And for me, it's a pleasure to be here to join you on the show and to talk about how the tech industry is rising and women are actually also leading, not just at the backstage watching or walking, but they are leading. So it's a pleasure. Thank you once again for having me on board.
Indeed, it's the feeling is mutual. Thank you. I'm really happy that you're here today. Now, something that I always like to start with is that, in your own words, who is Khadija Tijala? Behind the titles, behind the accolades, behind everything. Who is Khadija Tijala? In her own words, at the core.
All right, so Khadija Tujala is, I can say, a crazy girl that actually love technology. She also loved reading and writing, especially writing. Writing has been her way of expressing herself since she was young, and it has really led her to where she is today. And outside of all of that, I mean, a little bit about myself is that I also love watching Turkish movies and it's not just about working and innovating and things like that. So briefly, this is Khadija Tujalo as not for presents, not but Khadija to and she is Khadija to and everybody is there.
Oh wow. Okay. I like starting here because I feel like the titles are often like the end result of who you are as a person. And I think it's important for girls that are watching to understand that, before you were a founder, before you became a CEO and all that, you are a person, you have that fun side, you have everything. Like as a person, you come as a package, not just yeah, when they see Khadija, they don't just have to see, okay, a founder, a tech innovator, and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for opening with that. Now we're going to talk about your journey. I like also to kind of start with this because it's where for me I feel like it's all where it's like where it all began. So like
Mhm.
I want you to take us through your journey, where it all began, what led you into tech and everything, educational, a brief background now.
Okay, that's great. So for me, I it's always crazy. Sometimes I sit and then reflect, how did I come into technology? Because this was not my field. I can say 3 years ago, if somebody had told me that I was going to be a tech founder, I'll just look at them like, where are you getting that?
Mhm.
But I'm actually I have a BSc in agriculture, which is very interesting. I studied agriculture in UTG. So just to go back before UTG, I was a Nusratarian. So if anybody here that is from Nusrat, we are not bragging, but yeah, wherever, as our song says, wherever we go, we sing her name. So I was from Nusrat. I studied commerce, and that's where the whole journey started. Instead of
Mhm.
science, I didn't study science, I studied commerce. I was in C2. Then after I graduated from high school, it was like it's normal for anybody that studies science to actually go and do accounting. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, let me go do accounting. I did for first semester. I was like, I don't think this is my field. I find it really boring. I don't have anything against accounting, it's amazing, but I just felt like it was not for me. But then I was like, it's just first semester. Let me try one more semester. I did second semester, it was worse. Then I had to take a very drastic measure and told myself, I cannot go in this field. I do not do things that do not bring me joy. Whatever I do what I love. That's who I am. And I've had a lot of fights with a lot of people here in and but I've been told I'm stubborn, I'm this, I'm that, because I'm like, I don't listen to anyone. That's
Mhm.
just who I am. So before I decided to study agriculture, I wanted to study biology. And the reason was I've just been very fascinated with nature and things like that. But then I
Mhm.
went to UTG and I was told that I cannot study biology because I don't have biology.
You are a commerce student. Mhm.
Yeah. So I was not ready to spend another 1 year to study biology to go and do private work. Like, no. What's the closest thing to biology? Agriculture. And then I was like, okay, I love animals, so I'm definitely gonna do animal science. I for crops I love eating them but not studying them anyway.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
so I decided to go into animal science, and from then on, I was like, I'm gonna start a business. For me, since high school, I just knew that I was gonna be a founder. Like, I'm gonna build businesses. That has always been my journey. And throughout high school, when you're young, you just think when you finish, it's just A, B, C, D, and that's how you.
Exactly.
That was like the mindset I had. When I finish, I'm just gonna go get a scholarship and go outside and study until I save money, and then I come back and start my business, even though I didn't know what I wanted to start at that time. But life didn't go as I actually had in my head. I finished, I can say I applied to more than 10 scholarship. No, 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 no. It was like, no, no, no. That was when I decided to actually go to UTG before I waste my time. And luckily with UTG, I had a scholarship from NUHAS because I'm not from a financially strong family, actually, honestly. I'm not. And I got that. I did accounting 2 semesters. It was not for me. I decided biology. They were like, no, you cannot do biology. I said, then let's do agriculture. So I went into agriculture. And that is where my journey actually started, because that is what opened where I am today. So I did agriculture for like 3 to 4 years, and in my final semester, we had this opportunity to travel to Israel to do advanced agricultural technology. It was a paid internship. So for me, I was really interested in it because I was like, okay, this is a paid internship. I can actually save money and come back and start something that I always wanted to start. So I went there. It was supposed to be 10 months. COVID happened, and we had to stay
Oh.
there for like I stayed there for 22 months before I could come back to the Gambia. And my journey is it's kind of really interesting in a way. And I came back, I had like 50,000 savings, and honestly my mom and dad do not work, and I'm like, okay, if I want to start a business right now, who is going to like take care of them? I feel like it's not the right time yet. So I realized I needed to get a job, even though I told myself I was never gonna get a job. I'll just go and start my own thing. So
Mhm.
sometimes things happen and you realize you need to be strategic. So that was when I got my first job at Smart Technologies, and that is where presents come started. The journey of present started. So at
Oh.
Smart Technologies, every staff is expected to do IC3 level 1 to 3. So I did that, and I came across content creation, and it just clicked with me. The moment I took the topic, it clicked with me. I was like, this went took me back to my writing journey, because I always write, and for me before, writing was just when I'm sad or when I just wanna the things that
Kind
I
of like
experience,
convey
people
your
I just go and write it all down. It was nothing like I wasn't writing for anyone, I was writing for myself. Then it
Mhm.
clicked me like, I'm very good at expressing myself. I can actually use this that I've learned to help other people express themselves. But
Mhm.
presents didn't happen there immediately. So what I did was, decided to go and do a digital marketing course, and I just didn't want to get the knowledge, so I went to further. There was a digital marketing agency working with Smart. I went to her. She is also a woman tech founder. I told her,
Mhm.
I wanna volunteer. Just give me anything you have in digital marketing. I'm learning. I will do it. And that is
Mhm.
how my journey started. So I worked for Smart for 8 months. Then from there, I went to work with her full time. I worked with her for 1 year, 6 months until like June 2023. Something happened and we had like the company had to close down briefly. I'll not mention a name. So from then on, I was unemployed. I didn't have much savings, and I was like, another crossroad. What am I going to do? How do I go from here? So I said, I'm good. I'm good at writing. So I went to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of my favorite platform. Honestly,
Mhm.
I started a newsletter called the Multifaceted Mind. So the whole goal of the Multifaceted Mind was for to talk about entrepreneurship and personal development, two things that I'm really passionate about. And I
Mhm.
did that for 7 months, and I didn't stop there. So while I was working for Slike and Smart, I built a network. I was just not working. I was going out and meeting people and all that. So I went
Mhm.
back to my network. I'm like, I need to tell people that I've started doing freelancing. So one in
Okay.
particular of those people, yeah, I actually met one, and then we had we met, we sat and we talked. He introduced me to my mentor, and that's where Present started. I started to go to Alliance Francaise. Just 1 to 3 months, we decided to start Presents. When I went there, I was like, I told my mentor, I want to start a writing business. He's like, we are not doing writing. You're very creative. We are doing a digital marketing agency, and Presents came into existence.
Wow. It amazes me. And I'm actually fascinated listening to you explain this because this is coming from someone who was never into tech. You're someone that you told me you were a commerce student at high school, and then you kind of touch a lot of stuff because okay, you were a commerce student, and then you went into agriculture because you were not able to study biology, and
Yeah.
then well, accidentally you were working at somewhere where you got the opportunity to get into tech, and this really stands out for me because most people think that your journey has to like start early or start perfectly, but as you have shown, it's not always linear, it's not always perfect, it does not always start where you like want it to start and all
Mm-hmm.
that. And I think this is something that is going to live with you for the rest of your life, and that's amazing. I think your journey is nothing sort of extraordinary, really. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and I hope that other women that are watching you today, other girls that um are thinking that okay, they are not going to get to where they want to get simply because they are not they're not starting out right, or maybe it's not even starting out wrong, but everything starts from somewhere. So when you want to get somewhere, it does not necessarily have to start exactly right now. I mean, you go through a lot of phases and then eventually you get there as you have gotten there. So thank you really for sharing that um, with us. Now, do you think that a part of some part of your childhood or upbringing has shaped the woman that you have become today, like the founder, the entrepreneur that you are today?
Yeah, I would say a big yes to that because I've been raised, though I'm a Fuller, a very traditional Fuller family, I can say. But there are some values that have really been instilled in me since childhood. One of it is faith and belief. So
Mhm.
faith as in my mom, every time she used to remind me to make dua. I'm a cousin of dua. Like that is where I find myself whenever I get stuck. I just go back. I go back and talk to my Lord, to explain, to cry, to do whatever I need at that moment. So that's number one. The other thing is belief. Like my mom will always say, when I put my mind into something, it does not, nobody like can actually stop me. I go all in. I don't go halfway. I go all in everything that I do, and that has really been since I was a child. And I've always been somebody that express myself, even though when I knew that I'll be punished, even if I get, I still do it. So this has really helped me to really be where I am. Those values has really impacted me a lot.
Interesting. And it I think it's interesting how, your early experience, your, yeah, like, background. I think it's not, I might not really say background, because whether you are Muslim or okay, it's still background, whether you are Muslim or whatever faith that you believe in. If you really believe in it, I think that really helps a lot. Like, you always have something to fall back on. Anytime you, like, face any problems, you're like, okay, I believe, I have faith, this is going to happen. That kind of mindset, it's amazing. Did you have you always had, like, role models in tech growing up? Because seeing that your background has not always been in tech, it has in fact not always been in science. So have you had, like, mentors in tech growing up, or did you have to, like, create your own blueprint?
So growing up, I didn't have any mentor or anybody to guide me in tech. So I would say it's my curiosity. Like, I'm a very curious person. I remember the first time I opened the Gmail account. First time I opened a Gmail account, I opened it for myself, and
Mhm.
I was doing like a test, and I was like, I want to open a Gmail account. So let me, and then I went online, I searched whatever comes to my mind, I just go online and search, and then I saw the stuff. I said, okay, let me try this. If it works out, great. If not, then I'll go and ask for help. So for me, that is how I always learn. Like, I do it for myself. If I get stuck and I'm like, I can't do, then I bring in somebody. So my journey in tech has always been like that. And going back to the Gmail account, and then I followed the step and it was successful. I was like, yeah, I've created my first Gmail account. And the other thing was, I had a cousin brother. We were very close, and every time I used to go to his place, sometimes when I close from school, we're always sitting and chatting about what's happening around the world, what's happening in technology, and we always talk in money. Actually, when we're talking, it's just like, I'm going to be a billionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire, and we're just
Oh
looking.
my god,
So
I like
I
that.
think, yeah. So this conversation have also really helped me, and he was somebody like that really truly believed in me, always pushing me to actually keep pushing, to keep believing. He will keep telling me, Khadija, whatever you put your mind into, you can actually achieve it. So, but there was no one that was there to actually guide me in tech, honestly.
Oh wow. And it's, I feel, although I am proud that you went through all of this without any form of mentorship. It saddens me, because it helps when you have some mentors to guide you, especially when you are getting into a new field. It
Mm-hmm.
really helps. And I hope that you, now that you have gotten to this point, that you are open to mentoring women and girls, and I'm sure you're even doing that.
Yeah, yeah. And just to add a little bit on that, so when I really had a mentor, and in just 2 years, like having a mentor in just 2 years, what I'm able to achieve was just amazing. So my as right now I have a mentor, and I always go back to him to share, to talk, to analyze, and things like that. And for me, that has really shaped me, because first, we didn't start with tech. What we started was myself, my own journey, like to work on myself. And honestly, whatever you want to achieve in this life, you need to start. The journey starts inside first. So for me and him, that's where we started. My personal development, working on a lot of issues that I had. A lot of, I can say, trauma and all that. I needed to shut it out to be able to actually move to the next step. Then it was after that that we started focusing on the business. So even though I started presents while we were doing that, but his mentorship has really shaped me and helped me to move faster than before. I was the one trying to figure it out all on myself, and it was tough, and I'm not having anybody that actually can understand you, because as I said, I'm from a very traditional family. They think a
Yeah.
woman, the moment you graduate, just go get married and things like that. So I didn't have anybody to talk about except my the brother that I mentioned to talk about what I wanted, the dreams and all of that.
Indeed, I can definitely imagine, the societal pressures, everything. Our background, especially in the Gambia, it's a little bit, we're not ashamed of it. We love it and all that, but sometimes there are some limitations that, a lot of pressure, really, especially as a woman, like you said, when you graduate, everybody expects, like this guy is just going to get married. No, be someone's wife. They don't expect you to come and found a business, And the fact that you did that, it's amazing. I mean, really. Now you told me that you were also a writer at some point, and you have worked in media spaces. How has that storytelling? How has storytelling helped you in communicating in tech, and helping helping you create business ideas more effective?
So storytelling is everything, honestly. Like you need to tell a story. People, as a human beings, our brain is wired to process stories faster. So for me, the writing journey, all of that, what it helped was first, it helped me to actually write like any plan that I have, I write it down. I first make sure I put it in an ink and a paper and I see it because the moment I can see it, I can make it actual. I can actualize it. So that has been the first thing. The second, it's also helping me to understand better how to communicate with people because then I understand, okay, this person, this is how they process things, or this is how this person process also in different industries because at present we work with different industries. So this is how this industry people want to consume information, in this industry this is how they want to consume information. So all of those things, really storytelling is everything, honestly. If you know how to tell a story, you can actually scale faster than if you do not know how to tell stories.
Indeed. And I think, information, like communication is very important because technology that is not understood might as well not exist at all.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, if you have a technology and people don't understand what you were doing, what you were saying, you might as well not have it really. So communication really has a lot of that impact. Now let's
Yeah.
talk about presents. Let's talk about presents. So you are the founder of presents. I want to know what inspired presents, and for the people that are
um,
hearing presents for the first time, who is it really for? Who is presents for? What is it about, and who is
So
it?
Presence is a digital marketing agency, actually, so Presence is a digital marketing agency, and what we do is we support businesses, we support organizations, we also support individuals to do communicate effectively online in a way that it will resonate with the people that they want to talk to, and it will also help them to actually achieve the goals of that communication because every form of every communication has a goal. Like I will let's say for present we have a goal to actually be able to help these businesses or organizations or individuals communicate effectively. This is our goal. Another business or organization that will come to us, maybe for some they want to create awareness, that's their goal. Maybe for some they want to have more clients. Maybe for some they just want people to understand what they are doing and things like that. So that is what we do at Presence. And the amazing thing at Presence is that we don't do like a lot of agencies you see, okay, we do this part of digital marketing agency because I feel like a lot of people in the Gambia here, we still don't understand the scale of digital marketing agency. It's a very, 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 very big field. So some of the services we do is we do branding, we do lead generation. Branding is basically wherein you help people to understand what that brand is about. So when you hear about branding is what comes to people's mind when they hear a certain brand, let's say AfriCell, QCell, things like that, or even Presence itself. So we do lead generation. We also do content. So when we say content, we do writing, we script, we do video production from beginning to end. We also do graphic design. So we do all of that. We build websites too. And that is all part of digital marketing, and we manage it. We manage websites, and we do PR. So all of these are services that we do, and it's geared towards just helping other people to actually move to the next level, depending on what they want, where they are, and how they want it. So in short, this is about presence, and we are a full-scale digital marketing agency. And recently, we even started to actually cover events, and so a lot is happening at presence right now. Alhamdulillah.
Wow, I think I can hear a lot of pride in that, and rightly so, because building a business such as this is really not easy. And the fact that how long has Presence been in existence?
So we were 2 years now. Like last October, we were 2 years going into our third year.
Amazing. 2 solid years. And I think you've done a great job, and I cannot wait to see really what like everything that Presence has to offer, and everything that it will be doing in the near future. I cannot wait. Now, when we talk about Presence, I want to get take it to like the broader perspective in terms of women tech founders in general, in the Gambia. So when we talk about the rise of women tech founders, what changes have you seen personally? What changes have you witnessed in the tech space as far as women tech founders are concerned?
Okay. So if you look at it, there have been a lot of changes that are happening in the tech space. So coming back to the Gambia first, I can say AI has been a major contributor, because now things though it's harder, but it's also way easier if you actually put in the right work. Now if let's say if a woman found a business, you have Chat GPT, you have Gemini, you have Perplexity, you have all these AI platforms that serve as your assistant, your employee, or whatever you want to call them. They can help you write proposals, they can help you brainstorm ideas, they can help you generate content, they can help you plan your day-to-day activities, they can even help you to have a 1 year goal, a two, a three, like as long as you understand what you want and how you want and where you want to go. It's really amazing. That has been one. And the second is also the awareness. Like there has been a lot of awareness on social media, on TikTok, especially TikTok and Facebook has really, for me, has really contributed a lot. And also LinkedIn now Gambians are actually going on LinkedIn and actually contributing. So which is also another thing. They're seeing other people, other women like them that are doing it and they are succeeding. And this, if it's like, okay, before I didn't have anybody to look up to, or who, if I want to do something, I'm like, who is doing this, how do I, will I even succeed? But now you're seeing other people, other women like you succeeding in the tech space, so it's easy. And for me, the third one, which is also very important, it's there's been a lot of like development trainings. You have a lot of hubs that are now investing in women to train them, to build them on financial, on business, on a lot of different things. I can say like where I have been incubated at Gambia Tech. It trains a lot of. If you look at Gambia Tech, every batch they have more women, and there's a certain program called the Alliance 3.0. It's only for women, where they're training them in different aspects of tech. So all of this has really contributed to how women are now coming into tech. You're finding a lot of women will tell you, when I want to find a business, I want to do this in tech, I want to do that in tech.
Indeed, it's interesting because you talked about how starting out you did not have like mentors guiding you, but now that you are a founder, you are in this space already. You have like that community to like look up to, or network with, or basically just to be there, that you know that okay, a lot of women are doing this, that means I can do it too, and then I'm going to succeed. I think that speaks volumes.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Now, do you think that Gambian
So
women
and
are
AI, as I said, AI now, it's contributing a lot. Honestly, like it's yeah, AI, like AI is also contributing a lot, making it easier for women to actually go in the tech space, because now you can even learn with ChatGPT, you can learn with all these platforms. And if you also look at recently, let's say the these people, the GDG, that is a Google Developers Group, they have been organizing different. Every year we have, like this year event presents, we were there covering the whole event, but
Okay.
also looking at that, a lot of them are women. It's only one guy that is part of the whole group. So, and they every year they bring different tech innovators together, students, people that are aspiring to go into tech. So all of that given spaces, and you have a lot of, as I said, a lot of trainings going on data science, on Python, on, you have all of this training going on. So all of this makes it easier, and giving somebody that maybe does not even have high self-esteem to actually say, let me go and try. Because I have nothing to lose, let me just go and try, let me go and join, and things like that.
Indeed. And what do you think that has contributed most to the growth of, women led tech startups or institutions in the Gambia?
So I will say the capacity development. So capacity development is everything. If somebody knows what they are doing, it's easier for them. Now you have a lot of hubs. I'll name a few. You have like the hub. The hub. It's, you have a Gamtech. You have startup incubator. You have, there's another one that also recently started 1 year ago. You have all of these hubs that are coming and saying, women, we are here for you. And you have projects that are dedicated specifically for women. We,
Mhm.
like, we will train you, we will give you a like financial startup. So you have all of this, and this now makes it really easy. And then there are a lot of things happening in the Gambia, like networking events, wherein you go and you network, you meet other people, and you see them talking, and you see the things they could achieve. And so the things like that, it has really been a very, very great opportunity for women. And especially if you have the right person to guide you, it changes everything. It changes.
Mhm.
So I will name a few women, let's say women like, let's say Dr. Giorgio, Auntie Biran. So all of these people are doing great. And even now, it's not just women that are also mentoring. You have men that are also have started to support women to actually move forward. Even the government of the Gambia also have started to take steps towards that.
Indeed, and you mentioned something that I find interesting because it's not, when you talk about women in tech, people expect there to be only women. Like when you walk into the room that where people are talking about women in tech, you expect to find just women in there, and it's really not the case. It's not always the case because most of those women, some of those women, have been mentored by men. We work with men, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not just it's not just women in STEM, in STEM. Okay, we are excluding men. It's not really like that because what we
Mm-hmm.
are advocating for is working side by side with them, having them, but also having women.
Mm-hmm. That's very right. It's not like one. It's not like, okay, it's only women or it's only men. It's, we work together, because at the end of the whole goal we want is to be able to take Gambia to the next level as every citizen. That's what we want. And we cannot just focus on, let's say initially it was just in all this industry, it was tech industry, it was just led by men, and we were
Mhm.
ignoring the 50% of the population. But now we are all coming together and saying, how can we make it work? So, and when we come together, the men, the women come together, we decide to work. It makes things easier, because now you even have co-founders, like a man and a woman founding a business. So co-founders,
Exactly.
just
Mhm.
the woman that, like, for when I started, example, I come back to present. When I started present, it was just me, but now I have a co-founder, like
Mhm.
a partner, and he's a man. Actually, he's the one taking care, because for me, I'm a writer, I'm a marketer. He's the one taking care of the tech aspect of the business. So it's, he's there working. You will not hear about him, but he's working in the background, and he
Mhm.
has really contributed to the growth of where presence is. And I will say, if he was not there, maybe I might not have been able to get this far. But it's about that. My team also, I have men in my team, so it's how do we work together, collaborate, and actually achieve the same goal. So for me, it's not about we are sidelining the men, or no, it's we work together and we make things happen, because that's how we can go faster.
Exactly, exactly. And I wanted to put that across because, when even when we people see, okay, women in STEM show, they be like, where is the men in STEM show? And stuff like that. It kind of gives you like, okay, those people, anybody that is going to ask you that question seriously is not, maybe does not really have the right mindset, because obviously it is established that, a lot of men are already in the tech sector. So this is about equity. It's not even about equality. It's about a partnership where
Yeah.
we support we support like the group that is the minority. You understand? So it's just really like that. And that even brings me to my next question. As a woman founder, how do you feel that you are taken seriously in business spaces as a woman?
Yes, for me, this question, it's not like a one size answer. So everybody has different experiences. For me, I would say yes. Any room that I enter, like maybe because I can actually express myself well. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell any woman that want to be a founder, or not even a founder, you want to really grow in your career, you need to know how to communicate. Because communication is everything. When you enter in a room, and how can you communicate? Well, it's knowing. If you know what you're doing, if you know your thing, like you come with confidence and humility at the same time, you combine them. So for me, in most of the any room that I've entered, I've really I've not find somebody like looking down on me or anything. More like I've found support, but also people that even think like she is there, and they expect me to actually also take them there. So that's my experience, and it might be different for another person.
Yeah, yeah, because I think, like you said, the experience is very different for different people, but I've also had others say that, okay, like, m- sometimes, like, people are going to like basically say, okay, I think this was in one of my episodes. It was a medical student, I believe it was Aisha. She talked about how a lot of patients will call her nurse. I think this is common in the health sector.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
you are a doctor, but because you are a woman, people will
Mm-hmm.
still call you nurse. Even if they see
Yeah,
you with a white coat, stethoscope, and everything, they still call you nurse simply because you
yeah.
are, a woman. But I am so glad that that's not happening to you in the sector. That I think that's a relief to hear, really.
Yeah. So just to add on a little bit to like if you look at our sector, especially let's say about content creation, even up to now, you will see more men in content creation. Let's say if when we advertise recently, we were advertising for a content creator role. I can say 90% that applied were men. So I it's the gap is still there. Like I was this was a question I raised to my mentor one time when we were sitting. I was like, I'm observing like you have a lot of men doing content creation. Where are the women? Like what's happening? Because for me, I always like to think of things and see what's the solution. Where can I come in? Like what's happening here? And he was like not to be not this not to offend anyone. He's like men when it comes to the content creation field, it's very challenging, it's very difficult, so they put more effort, more like for us women, most of us, we are comfortable with just being here. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we need to get out of that, break that, getting out of our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if we want to move to the next level, like you'll see a woman founder actually, they will be doing good. They reach to a level, and then something happen, and that's
They're
it. But
stagnant.
yeah, so but how can we get outside of our comfort zone and to push beyond our limit? It's really interesting. And even this field, for me, I've heard, let's say, people will not come to me directly, especially family. They come go through my mom and say, okay, this field that I am in, it's not for me. Even my mom will tell me, because sometimes we have shootings. I travel to Basay, I travel to you. She'll be like, I wish you would just be at your office, and then anybody that needs your work will come and find you there. And I keep telling her, Mom, that is not the nature of my work. The nature
Mm-hmm.
of my, this is like, but I don't like this work that you're doing, and this is for a man. You
Oh,
have
wow.
you have that, you always have those things, but they don't actually discourage me because I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going.
Exactly, exactly. And how do you navigate like leadership in this male dominated space? We know there are a lot of women, like I think it's improving a lot there. Like you said, there are a lot of women in this space, but it is still male dominated. The truth is that
Yeah.
it's still male dominated. So how do you navigate it? What techniques have worked for you so far?
So for me, my leadership, my team knows that I am. I like opens personally. I don't like a space that close me. So in my in at present we have this open policy wherein because when you give people, yes, you need to hold people accountable, but give them the freedom first to be themselves, to understand, because as a leader you're not just, it's there's a difference between being a leader and a boss, and most of us we want to be a boss, but it's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
instead of a leader. Like a boss is just there, do this, do that. But I prefer being a leader. Like when people call me boss, I'm like, no, I'm a leader, and I always involve my team in any decision making. I ask for their, sometimes even though I know it, but I'm like, let's say if we are creating content or coming up with concept, they will ask me, and I'm like, what do you think? What's your idea? So
Mm-hmm.
I've created this environment where I make them to come up with, until to the extent now some one of them will be like, I think if we have this, I think if we do it this way it will be better, I think if we, and sometimes we debate on that. I will have a different idea, the content creator will have a different idea, the brand manager, and then we will sit and see what is the best, what goal, because it's always the goal we are target, we are all targeting one goal. So how, what's the best way to actually get to our goal? So for me it's having an open leadership but holding people accountable. So that has really worked for me.
Yeah, I think you've said it perfectly. And you know, when people think about women leaders, they think, okay, she's gonna be soft compared to men leaders. Men leaders are like generally expected to be, you know, harsh and everything and all that, like bossy. But although women can be bossy, but most of the times the mindset is that because she's a woman, she's going to be soft and she's going to be very lenient. Um,
Yeah.
with the people that she leads. But I think it's good to hear you say that, you know, you are open to collaboration. You know, you don't always have to think that, okay, because you are the leader you have the final say, or you always have the right thing to say all the time. The fact that you listen to those you lead, and sometimes even take their ideas over yours, it's admirable, really. But now, what has been one of your hardest moments as far as being a founder goes?
So leadership, working with a team is hard, honestly, because leading a team, the reason is this: they are looking up to you. They expect you to have all the answers, to know
Hmm.
what you're doing, and sometimes you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you, like, you have fears, you have all of these things in your head, but you still, and sometimes even at home you might get up and not feel like in the mood, but then you have to come up and you have to show up for these people, because
Hmm.
this is how I see it. As one of my favorite content creator, Gary Vee, will say, is like, your employees are not working for you, you are working for them. So that's the mindset I always try to remind myself, like this. And even sometimes I might be pissed with someone, but I will not react. I'll take a step back, think what's wrong here, how do I actually achieve, how do I give feedback and things like, because it's very important. But initially when I just started, because before we were working remote, it's easier to manage people when you're working remote, to me, than when you're all in the same office. And
Hmm.
I remember coming back to mentorship. Sometimes I'll call my mentor. I'm like, I am tired. I'm tired. I'm so stressed out. And this is, I didn't know that leading people is this hard. But over 3 months, I was okay. And reading, because I read a lot. I'm currently reading a book called Think Like a Monk, and it has really been helpful. Before that, Think and Grow Rich, I also read Ego is the Enemy. So reading also, because the more I read, the more I'm seeing how to actually make myself a better person. Because if I can be a better person, I can actually lead better.
Indeed, very um, important there what you said. Although anyway, I think I will leave that question for later. But now I want to ask what, from your experience as a tech founder, what role have you seen technology play in strengthening, agriculture, education, businesses, and basically sectors that are really important as far as Gambia is concerned?
So it has really changed a lot now. Before, let's say for agriculture, you only hear people just going having farms and farming. Now you have agri technology that is coming up. You have, let's say, a platform, a business called Farm Hub,
Mhm.
wherein they have like bring different farmers, even people that are not even educated, illiterate people. I don't like to use that word. Let's say people that
Yeah,
have not gone through
definitely,
the
definitely.
formal
We don't
education are part
Mhm.
of that Farm Hub, and they are making money. They are learning. They are making money because they made it in an environment wherein they speak Mandinka, speak Wolof,
Mhm.
the languages that people understand. And what was able to do this technology? They have a WhatsApp channel. So if WhatsApp have not actually do that update, that would not have been possible. So they have a
Mhm.
WhatsApp channel wherein all this communication goes in, and they have a website where now people can go and buy products and things like that. There's another one also coming up, Lambai e-market, wherein farmers can go and put their products, and also people that want to buy. Let's say if I'm a buyer, I can go there and buy from farmers, and they do the delivery. So that's agriculture. If you look at even in the own space that we are in, let's say in content creation or in digital marketing, technology has really made it so easy. The advent of AI, now people can actually use AI voiceovers. People can You can come up with a 1 month content plan in like less than 30 minutes. Is just even too much. In 10 minutes or even less, you can come up with that. So it's so easy now to actually succeed if you put the work. The work is everything. So coming back to that, now you also have, even in fashion, things are coming up now. You can have, like, let's say I can be let's say I'm a model, and then I wear an outfit, I took a picture, I can change the background. I did that. I Because I'm starting also a fashion brand called Radiance Closet. I am really passionate about fashion. So I
Mhm.
took one of my cousin's picture and I changed the background. It was taken at the beach. What I did, I put it in on Canva, and then I changed the background to show that she's in a classroom, just to showcase that particular outfit. You can wear it in different setting. You can wear it to go to school. So all of technology has just really advanced. Even in finance, technology is also helping people now, like even in finance. And the beautiful thing, these platforms are also even on social media. Now there's something called social commerce, which is now people sell not just on their website, but they sell online. Look at WhatsApp status. How many
Mhm.
people are making money just from WhatsApp status? You have TikTok shop, you have Facebook shop, you have all of these things that are making people to be able to work better and easier.
And indeed, this is definitely the beauty of tech. It's like a multiplier across every sector. Like whatever sector that you can think of, it doesn't matter whether it's finance or education or agriculture or e-commerce or anything. Basically, tech works in every sector, and that's why it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I just love this industry. It's every day I see things that actually inspires me to keep pushing, to keep working harder, honestly.
Indeed. And when we talk about this also, we realize that now, because of how technology has integrated into our lives, we
Mhm.
you find out that there's this need for everyone to have like um digital skills. Everyone. It does not really matter whether what you're doing. So
Mm-hmm.
brings me to my next question. What digital skills that do you think every young Gambian should really have? It does not, like, regardless of their field of study or expertise.
So the simplest digital skill that every Gambian should have, like honestly, let them know how to work with a laptop, just to type, switch it on, to do basic things on a laptop. You have people that goes up to like university and they struggle to do basic things on their laptop. That's one. The second is people need to learn Google Workspace or Microsoft. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, sometimes you see people that struggle to write emails, like emails. So sometimes I receive emails and on the subject line, that's where you see the message.
Oh my
So you
god.
see, yeah, so you see all of this. So the text, the skill gap, it's really really big. As during the Senegambia Tech Week, they had a panel discussion, and one of the panelists mentioned, we interviewed her after, and we asked her a question, and she mentioned the problem in the Gambia is not the knowledge. You have people are going to university every year. We have more people that are graduating from university. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is the skill gap. Every let's say every employer will tell you the problem we have is this is skill gap, because you employ people now, you also need to train them, because a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
times you need to invest in training them in, because we have that issue in the Gambia. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of work to do. We need to learn basic IT skills. That's one, basic IT skills. The second, after basic IT skills, is we need to understand AI. We need to know how to use AI to work for us. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you understand prompt engineering, if you know how to use AI to work for you, you can really go faster. You can learn with AI. It's not just about um, going, because it's also very important for me to say, especially for students, don't just go and use chat gpt to do your assignments for you.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing. It's very important to understand what you're doing, because when you understand what you're doing, you will be able to better guide that chat gpt. So all of these AI platforms, the more you can prompt them, the more you can tell them what you want, the better. Let's say for me and you, I can we can have the same we have the same goal, we have a topic, and maybe you are a better prompt engineer or somebody, you can prompt chat gpt better than me. You will have the better results than I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all of this, it's really important. We need basic computer skills. We need also to understand AI. We also need to know how to protect ourselves online,
Mm-hmm.
because the
Mm-hmm.
more technology advances, we are hearing a lot of scammers. People are being scammed online, even on WhatsApp. Like sometimes you see people, their WhatsApp has been hacked. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very important for also to understand how to protect ourselves while being online, because the more technology scale, the more AI becomes more accessible, the more people also, you have the crude people that also want to harm other people. So it's very important. But also cyberbullying, we also need to be very careful of all of that. And above all of that, we need to know how to communicate. Communication is everything. You need to know how to talk online. It's very sad sometimes when we go on our own online spaces in the Gambia and you see the way we talk to each other. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you sad. And I was not even going to address this because it- I did not think there was a need to address it, but there was this one episode that I was in one of my episodes. I was here on this platform, and I saw this comment on YouTube. I think the person wrote, "Is that a ninja?" You know,
Wow.
so I saw that. I was in the middle of the show, and it took me aback so much. But it does not. You let it affect you if you let because people are going to see anything online as well. And as much
Mhm.
as you try to not do that, there are people that are going to do it to you. So I think it's important for people to also have like ethic skin,
Mhm.
because these things are going to happen. You're online, you're exposed to a lot of things, so you also you have to really be able to deal with the things that comes with, you understand. And
Yeah.
also you mentioned something very important, children not going to or students not going to ChatGPT for the assignments. I think like my lecturers are always saying this, like they insist on it so much because when you think about it, AI makes mistakes because it's not, it's AI. As you as a human make mistakes, so you cannot expect AI to be perfect. ChatGPT itself will tell you that ChatGPT makes mistakes. Make sure you check important information. So if you go, if for example you're given an assignment and you go directly to ChatGPT and it gives you something and you just copy and paste that without even
Yeah.
verifying at all, that is very dangerous. It's really
Yeah.
dangerous. And if you don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, not only
Yeah.
will you be able to let that AI give you the best result, like the result that is the best, but
Mm-hmm.
you it might just give you an error and you just accept it like that. And you just continue. It's very dangerous, really. And I think ethical use of AI does a lot of good. It does a lot of good, but we definitely have to know how to use it. Indeed, and I think it's important that you tried that.
Indeed, just to add a little bit on that, like one of my team members shared a story she read. It didn't happen in the Gambia. It happened in I think one of the East African countries. And she said there was this person. He went to ChatGPT. He was sick. He went to ChatGPT to explain actually the symptoms that he was going through, and ChatGPT basically told him that he had flu, and before he knew it, he had actually TB. He had tuberculosis. So like look at something like that. And
Oh.
the topic we were discussing was more like this a similar thing that we are saying right now. It's verifying information, knowing that this information that you get, go back and verify it.
Indeed, indeed. AI definitely comes with a lot of pluses, but we definitely have to also be careful about all the negative impacts. Oh, unfortunately, we are really running out of time. I think we have about 2 minutes because the show is just winding up. I definitely don't want to let you go. This conversation it's like I don't want it to stop. But anyway, it has to. So I am going to wrap up, but I still have a few questions, maybe two. We can just shorten the answers a little
No
bit.
problem.
But
Yeah.
the next question that I want to ask is, sometimes we have these myths about women in tech. I want to
Mm-hmm.
know if according to your own experience, are there anything that you think needs to be unlearned as when it comes to women in STEM or women in tech or basically women in STEM in general? When you talk about women in STEM, what are the
Mm-hmm.
myths that people need to unlearn about this concept?
So the greatest myth will be to think that it's for this fields are for male. That's one. The second, it's more like them trying to not think that they can actually make it in the different fields. Let's say, or not understanding the whole. When we say,
Women
especially,
themselves.
yes, when we say technology, we usually think of Python, we usually think of coding, but technology is
Mhm.
more than that. So that I think that is also another great myth. We need to understand when we say what is technology itself, what does it even digital marketing is technology, but a lot of people will not understand that. So
Mhm.
that's another those are like two great myths just because we are out of time that people need to understand.
Indeed, and I don't think if anyone tells me digital marketing is not tech, I'm going to slap you. Like no, because okay, what is digital marketing? I think that anybody that says digital marketing is not part of tech has to definitely
Mhm.
define what digital marketing is. If you
Yeah.
say digital marketing is not part of tech, there has to be a different definition that what we
Because when
know.
you just the marketing, maybe it's the marketing there, like the marketing.
But what
So
about
that
digital? But it's digital, so it's not just marketing. We said digital marketing. That alone should tell you that it's really part of tech.
yeah,
You
or
know
even content creation. Content creation is tech. Like all the tools we use, they are tech. You have Premiere Pro, you have
exactly,
Canva, you have CapCut, you have all of those things.
exactly. And when we want to talk about these myths, I think we'll be here and, the entire night. So I have this one final question. I always end with this. So, what final message would you have for young girls that are watching you today that maybe want to get into tech or STEM, or even want to become, women founders, tech founders like you?
Mhm, mhm. So briefly, it's first believe in yourself. That is everything. No matter how much any person believe in you, if you do not believe in yourself, you're not going to make it. That's number one. It starts
Mhm,
from there. Second is empower yourself with the skills that you need. The
mhm,
knowledge is everything. You believe in yourself, you have the knowledge. Third, your environment, the people that you associate yourself with. We joke with this just briefly. Even the Prophet ﷺ said, choose the people that you associate with. If you want to be this person, you need to associate with a community that, because the moment you do that, you are giving yourself a chance to success. So believe in yourself, empower yourself
mhm.
with skills, associate yourself with the right people that can help you get there. And the final thing is do the work. You will fail, don't be afraid of failure. I mean, you will make mistakes sometimes that you ask yourself, did I actually make this silly mistake? But it's part of the journey, because that
Mhm.
is how you learn. And keep doing it. And whenever you need help, go and ask for help. Don't be afraid. You might have a lot of no's, but there will be definitely be one person that is willing to invest in you and say yes to you.
Exactly. So if you're a girl that is watching today, well, you've had it with me. She says, believe in yourself. Um, okay.
Empower yourself with skills.
Empower yourself with skills and always be with people who will, always push you. Basically, people that, if, for example, you want to be in tech, maybe you want to associate yourself with people that are in tech. If you want to be in medicine, the same thing. So yeah, basically that is Khadija's advice to you all. So do you have any final words before we wrap up, because we are 3 minutes into our 1 hour, so I don't want to go any further than that.
So my final words is, what you're doing, keep doing it. It's really amazing. Women in STEM too. Keep up the good work that you're doing. We're seeing it. And anybody out there that is actually making something, that is working towards development, keep going. The journey might be long, but just believe and keep pushing. That's my final words. And thank you once again for inviting me here. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you, Khadija. Thank you so much for those kind words. And thank you for this conversation. I think, it's been real, it's been honest, it's been refreshing. And what I appreciate most about your story is that you've basically shown that tech is not, some far away thing that is meant for, only a few people. It's like something that you grow into, something you build, step by step. We've had you say that, your journey was not always linear, but you've been curious, you've been courageous, and it took a lot of learning. And I think that is basically it for everything good that anybody wants to do. So thank you so much for being with us here on Women in STEM. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Awa. And bye bye to everybody that has been
Thank
listening.
you, and yeah, have a blessed evening. Well, that was Khadija Tijalo. She is a tech founder, like I said. She is an innovator and she's a problem solver. She's been solving a lot of problems for the Gambia, businesses and whatnot. And she was talking to us about her story and the rise of women tech founders in the Gambia. And her journey stood out for me because it has proven that you don't really need to have everything figured out. Um, or from the beginning, you just need to be willing to start and be willing to learn and be curious. I think tech or STEM or any other field needs all of these things, and I think it's an important message because especially for young girls, if you're watching today, if you have been watching this episode, you know that or you might have been feeling like tech is intimidating or out of reach, but watching this, I hope that you've seen that it's not at all. Tech is the present and it is the future, and you have a place in it. So here on Women in STEM, this is what we celebrate. every week. Women that are using innovation to build a better Gambia, while inspiring others to do the same thing. So it has been a pleasure. I am our content, your host, and I'll see you again next weekend for another episode. Have a blessed evening.